Hi guys, today I'm going to share with you how I did my butterfly locks for the first time, as well as all the beginner mistakes I made to avoid. I'm going to take you through my whole process in detail and point out exactly where I made these mistakes and what I should have done differently. I only wore this hairstyle for a week because of all these mistakes, and when I took them down, my head was tender and my roots felt weak and sensitive. Yes, the final look was cute but uncomfortable. Okay, let's begin. The hair that I'm going to be using is the Lulu Tress Water Wave in 18 inches and color 2. I bought 4 packs and I used a little under all 4 packs. I had a total of 28 locks. The products I'll be using are gel. I should have used Shine and Jam, oil, a rat tail comb, edge brush, and rubber bands. I'm going to be doing the rubber band method. I'm going to start with freshly washed and deep conditioned hair. I'm going to apply oil to my scalp and hair. I get really itchy scalp, so before a protective style, I really have to moisturize my scalp. I then move on to parting my hair. I parted my hair from ear to ear, dividing the hair in half. I took my time and I parted as perfectly as I could. A day before doing my locks, I soaked the water wave hair in a bathtub of warm water with some vinegar for 3-ish hours. I made sure that the twisty tie was secure before soaking the hair. Then I rinsed off the hair and air dried overnight. I do this to wash off anything that might irritate my scalp. Then I moved on to parting the front part in half. I made the parts where I wanted the lock to lay when I was finished. I made sure to detangle all 3 sections. Now it's time to start parting for the lock. I do a rough guide of how big I want each section to be, and then I start sectioning. So this is where I made the biggest mistake. I didn't part my hair cleanly. What I mean is that the lines were not clean. There were strands of hair from different sections, and these got pulled on after the lock was complete. This is where a lot of my pain and discomfort came from. You don't have to have perfect parts, but your lines have to be clean and all the hair has to be within that clean line. If you have any stray hairs that are kind of going through the line, they're going to get pulled on unevenly, and that's going to cause a lot of pain. Once I part, I take some gel and I put it around the edges of that little section. I should have taken my time with sectioning because this lays the foundation for the whole style. You know how painful it is when you accidentally pull on 1 or 2 of your strands? Now imagine that all over your head. I should have used a metal rat tail comb. I think these give you cleaner parts. Also, make sure to leave out your edges. Another mistake I made is using rubber bands. I will never use rubber bands again. Because I wanted to have neat locks, I tied the rubber bands really tight. So with the unclean parts and the tight rubber bands, I started to get a headache before I was even done parting all of my hair. I should have made the rubber bands really loose. Over here, I actually went in and made the rubber bands even tighter. So I kept going on with my horrible parts and tight rubber bands till I was all done. This process took about an hour and a half. So here is my hair all parted. At this point, my head was aching, so I actually went in and loosened up all the rubber bands by pulling them down from the root. I'm sure this was not good for my roots and my hair. As you can see, my parts are so uneven. The lines are not clean. This was a big no-no. Here I am after practicing doing some locks off camera. As you can see, the locks are chunky, the bottom is poofy, and the locks have a twist to them. They're not really straight, they're more of a twisty lock. I still think they look beautiful, and this hairstyle gives room for imperfections. So let me show you the method I used to install these locks. I first took 2 of the water wave hair, lined them up at the tip, made sure that one side was twice as long as the other side. You want one side to be longer because you're going to wrap it up and then all the way down. You will see what I mean. I brushed the hair out to fluff it out and make it more distressed. Then I hook the 2 pieces of hair over the rubber band, making sure one side is longer than the other. I take my index finger and go under my hair to hook the opposite lock strand under my hair. Then I start braiding down about 2 inches. Don't worry if you can see the rubber band. When you wrap the hair up after you braid, you will cover up the rubber band. Once I'm done braiding, I combine the shorter water wave hair with my own hair, take the longer water wave hair and start wrapping up. I make sure to wrap the hair around the rubber band. This is what hides the rubber band and makes for a cleaner look. Then I start wrapping down. I use the thumb method to create the butterfly look. Once I got all the way to the bottom, I took my finger and looped the hair around it. Then I twisted the hair back up. This did not secure the lock, it just unraveled and poofed up. So here I am the next morning, all the locks complete except for 2 little sections. I learned a lot doing all the other locks, and I was able to make the front look a little bit better. If you're doing these hairstyles or anything like this, I suggest you start from the back of your head so that by the time you get to the front, you would have had more practice and your hair will look a lot neater because you had some practice. Next time I do a hairstyle like this, I will not use the rubber band. Instead, I will braid my hair. Because my hair was not braided, it was coming out of the lock, I will probably also crochet. Braiding down the hair, then wrapping up, and then wrapping down took forever. All in all, this hairstyle was cute, and I will definitely do more of these, except I will not follow this technique. This style took around 4.5 hours and about 4 packs of hair. Also, taking the hair out was a nightmare. I think what made it hard was that my hair was loose and it got twisted up with the lock, so when I was taking it down, it was all tangled up and I had to take my time to take it apart without damaging my hair. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.